How's it, football family and soccer brothers and sisters? Welcome to week 3, episode 1 of the Panenka Pundit, and we have a very, very special new guest for you today. His name is Oral. I know this dude from Poch when I still stayed there, and I used to work in a music shop, and he is a very, very big United supporter. I'm sure you can see with his background and his jersey and everything. And he's joining us on our show today to talk about what's happening in the United camp and how is the mood currently among the fans. And it seems to be a very good one. Oral, how are you doing, man?
Hey, Ruan, my friend. I am awesome, man. Thanks so much for having me on the show. I'm looking forward to this one. This is a good show. This is going to be a good show.
It's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good show because we're going to talk mainly about United and the mood and the feeling around was everything happening there. So before we get there, let's do a quick roundup of the week's games. Basically, first game we have to talk about is Man City and Arsenal. It feels like it feels like a red card is a good excuse for that scoreline. But to be honest, it was already 2-0. What I think Granit Xhaka got sent off after 30 minutes at least. It was already 2-0, so I couldn't see anything else change. The red card obviously didn't help, but I couldn't see anything change or anything better happening for Arsenal. We talked with a few people on the show before with Arsenal, and they are they're trying to be positive, but not really either. We can skip this topic. We've bullied them enough on the show so far, but it was a good game from City. So City actually just showed again why City are City, and they have this thing where they can go and play 3 games and not score 1 goal, and then they come back and then score 5 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals, 4 goals, and they just do that. And that's just because they've got such a big squad and a lot of goal scorers. Even though they don't have a striker, they still don't have a striker, and they score that amount of goals.
Yeah. Ruan, I really think we just should have a moment of silence for Arsenal.
Oh, dude. It's such a scary thing, and I don't know if sacking. I usually in cases like this, it feels like you can say something simple like, "Well, just sack the manager." Well, can you do that now after he spent so much money on the signings that he wanted? Apparently, that's the signings he wanted. What do you do now? Are you patient? But remember also, so they do have injury problems, and they had a tough start to the campaign. So Brentford doesn't sound like it's a United or it's a Tottenham or it's a Liverpool they're facing. But remember, they played their first game they played against someone who's never been in the Premier League in their new stadium. Of course, the fire and the passion is going to be there for the Brentford guys. So it's not like Arsenal had an easy start or run of fixtures to start with. So I don't know if there's a solution for them. I spoke to one of my friends and I said, I think patience is the best thing, because if we remember last season, Man City started, I think, with 12 points of their first 8 games. That's not amazing, and they ended up winning the league quite comfortably in the end. So maybe patience is a thing for now for them. And hopefully after the break, some people can come back. Injuries will be a thing of the past. Actual starting 11 will start to play, and something will look like it's happening there. I know defense is not really great, but they're not scoring goals either. So hopefully something will get better for them. But back to another London team. We go to Tottenham, who's top of the league now? Who would have guessed under Nuno? They're on top of the Premier League table, even though it's only after 3 games, but 3-1-0s. If you win, doesn't matter how fancy you win. You win.
I've got great respect for Nuno. Nuno is a top manager. He's got a good side now, and I think we're going to see the best of that Tottenham team, especially the brand of soccer that the Wolves guys were begging to play, and now he's got the manpower to do it at Tottenham. And I mean, you can see they're sitting up top there nicely, 3-3.
Yeah, that's true.
With 9 points. So, and now Harry Kane's staying, the number 1 goal scorer, Golden Boot winner. So they're really looking good.
Yeah, I'm still not sure they should have kept him. I just think this is a fantastic opportunity to build an actual squad, especially if you do get 160 odd million for Harry Kane. That's a lot of money. I mean, you can
M's.
Yeah, you could buy 3, 4, maybe even 5 very good players for that amount of money. I'm not saying Harry Kane is not worth that, to be all know he's a fantastic
Yeah.
striker. He's proven in the Premier League. He's doing it year in, year out. In the first episode, we talked about him getting the Golden Boot and the most assists in a team that ended
Yeah.
seventh. That's ridiculous. So that must show you what the class is. But even though they're winning now, and even though they're doing it without Harry Kane actually scoring the goals, it just shows you they maybe they should have sold him. Maybe Daniel Levy should just sit and say, well, listen here, get rid of this guy. Let's build a nice squad. Or maybe they'll do it at the end of the season. Because the reports that came in said he's staying for the rest of the season. They did not say he was staying until his contract ended. We'll see how that goes. But big ups on Nuno, because I was very doubtful. So I was one of the things. So big ups to him. Big ups to Tottenham for starting so smooth. West Ham started very well also. Actually, there's a lot of clubs who started well. Brentford to date have not lost one game. Crazy. And then we get to my team, who unfortunately a red card ruined the game. Whether it was a legitimate red card or not, it was such a fantastic game. Until the red card, it was up and down. It was
it was a beautiful game.
Yeah, as Jurgen Klopp describes it, heavy metal football. He calls his heavy metal football. It was all over the show. I think Liverpool played well. I think we played well. And then at the day, I will be honest and say, getting 1 point at Anfield with the fans back, with 10 men, does feel like a victory, even though it doesn't indicate it, right? On the scoreboard or on the league table, it does emotionally feel like this was a victory. And Thomas Tuchel has made this team's defense absolutely solid. So all praise to him for that.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that was a good result. I would have liked a full 90 minutes with 11 players. I think it would have ended maybe 2-2.
Ruan,
I don't know.
Ruan.
Yeah.
I must say, like, the technical ability of those two coaches, you could see that was on another level. And when that goal went in, when the red card came, the changes that Tuchel made was like spot on.
He's
and I mean the amount of saves. Can we just hand clap to Mendy? Oh, what a game he had! You know, I think there were a few beautiful saves that he made to keep you guys in the game there.
There's some ridiculous stat that I read that said he faced more shots the first 25 minutes of the second half than he did this whole campaign so far. The other two games combined, and he made a few fantastic saves. Yeah, he's a fantastic keeper. Also, they had to take the shots from outside the box because the defense was well drilled. It's boring. You have to put the players behind the ball. They had to park the bus. Unfortunately, there was no other avenue. But 1 point with 10 men, that's a win for me. And then now we get on to you guys.
Before we go to our team, that was a win for me as well. Having you guys draw, especially with our draw of last week against Southampton, I was hoping at best for a draw, you know? So
it was a good victory for you guys.
That played in my favor. Perfect. What do you think about that red card, though?
To be honest with you, when I saw it, I felt like that was not a red card. But often you feed of what the commentators say. So the commentators immediately actually, when the red card was given, was this is too harsh. It was never a double because he's getting double punishment now for doing one thing wrong. And as after the game, as soon as you listen to different perspectives, especially from the pundits or the extra referees that they give into the shows afterwards, it kind of felt like it can be a right decision. But there's also ways how a lot of pundits have put it that it was not the right decision. So I'm in a very gray area about that. I do feel I can 100% tell you that the penalty was correct. A yellow card would have been 100% correct. The
100%.
only so that's no denying about that.
Yeah.
But I don't think the intention was stick your hand out to stop the goal.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the red card was needed, but there's nothing we can do about that. I just think it's Anthony Taylor, and
oh my word,
that's enough. He'll get a nomination at the end of the show.
The most loved. Referee.
The most loved. Everybody loves that bloke, but he's born in Manchester. You know that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, he's born in Manchester. I wonder where the manners of him comes from. But anyway, let's get on
Probably
to
the
you
blue
guys.
side of Manchester.
Oh, is it? Of course, you'll say that.
I'm actually
But
not
anyway,
sure. I know he's from Manchester, but not which
all
one.
right.
I don't know.
Well, let's get some more Manchester stuff going here. Are
Oh,
you guys buzzing at the moment with Ronaldo?
we are buzzing, bro. We are buzzing. We are
I can
buzzing.
believe you.
CR7,
Yeah,
the GOAT.
just to, yes, that's fantastic.
Oh,
Just to tell you, man, so how it feels from someone from the outside. So I'm not a Manchester United supporter, but
yeah,
my immediate feeling is everything around the club, the aura completely changed the last few days. It all of a
yeah,
sudden feels like this is the United of about 8 years ago, where we're fearful.
yeah.
And it's
100%.
one player. Even so, Sancho came along. Everybody's like, "Whoa, this is a good signing. This is a good signing.
Yeah,
You guys are going to be a strong team." And then Varane came along.
yeah,
Everybody felt the same. Oh, they're still a strong team. And then everything didn't really change. I think the mood around United didn't really change with the signings. You know, you had good players, but the moment Ronaldo was announced, it's almost like it almost felt like, oh my goodness, am I
yeah.
facing the Madrids of the past? Like, it's crazy. The aura and
Awesome.
everything around
Awesome.
now.
Awesome.
I think it's fantastic. I think there's going to be a
Yeah,
good team spirit around you. I think Ronaldo's going to be an excellent mentor for guys like Sancho, guys like Greenwood, all those young kids there
yeah.
from your academy who's been already has been
Definitely.
so good. And now that he's getting this life-size idol to play with them
Yeah,
and to mentor them, I think he is going to be fantastic for you guys. Now, I
awesome.
have to ask you
Awesome.
this, right? Before he joined, did you see yourself, Manchester United, and your team as title contenders for the Premier League this season? This is before Cristiano Ronaldo arrived.
Okay, so we have three key positions that we had to look at in this transfer market. Number one being that right wing position, because we have never replaced Cristiano in the last 7 to 8 years since he left. Okay. Second was we need a CDM, central defensive midfielder, and we needed a proper centre back that we could pair with Harry Maguire. And so last year I don't know if you know, but we were in for Sancho for last year. And then they messed up the deal and all that, so we never got him. So actually, Sancho was last year's signing. So we were gassed when we finally got him, but was not really,
But
because
you got
in
it for a lot
hindsight
less
we
money
knew.
than last year.
Yeah, we did. So that's the win you can
Business.
take. But like the money was there. Just why didn't you get it back then? I believe if we could get Sancho, we might have really been in a title race with Man City. You know what I mean? Because we were right up there. In January, we thought we were winning the league, But be it as it may. And then we got Varane. We were super stoked to get the world's best, because Manchester United for the last 7 years got second or third or fourth at best quality players, okay, in terms of signings. And so this season, I think also because of this heavy pushing that team was doing against the Glazers, getting the Glazers out, the owners of Manchester United, they had to go out and spend some money to get the fans back. And so you could see this in our transfer market. First 2 weeks, Sancho 1 week, Varane next week, and we were gassed. But we know for a fact that if there was one position that Manchester United needs strengthening in, it was going to be the CDM position. And up till now, we are waiting. This window is not successful, and we will never be title contenders if we don't get that CDM, because that's a critical position for our team. So this has been my perspective. Unless we get the central defensive midfielder, we're not going to win any silverware, because that role's so key for us.
So McFred is not cutting it for you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No McFred. Look, I believe if they groom McTominay, Maxos, if they groom him into a CDM, he could probably do it. He's got the eye for it. He's got the tenacity. He's got quite good ball control, but him doing that lone role, he's not there yet. Fred's got absolutely no ball skills. I think he's got the fake Brazil passport. He can't pass a ball The only thing he does is get the ball and lose it in the next 5 seconds, and that can't cut it. Even our partnerships, the balance between Pogba, Bruno, and Fred, it just doesn't work. So yeah, title contenders not yet, unless we can get that CDM position.
That's a very honest answer, Oral, because the previous
100%.
I'm saying the previous friends we've had or the previous guests we've had on the show so far, it's either title contenders is going to be Chelsea or Man United. Those have been the votes so far. So nobody said they think Liverpool's going to take it. Nobody said they think that City's going to take it. They were mentioning Man United. They were mentioning Chelsea.
No, we're miles off.
And I think there was a big thing about where's Declan Rice going to go to. Is he going to come to Chelsea or is he going to go to Man United? He hasn't signed a contract with West Ham as of yet, unless I've missed something, but I don't think he has.
No.
Maybe I think West Ham is just milking this as much as they can to try and get a big fee for that. So apparently they want 100 million for him. That's what I've heard. And then Declan Rice responded,
that's what they want.
I don't even think I'm that worth that much. But it's also very unfair on the English players in general. It puts a lot of pressure on them. I mean,
look, most of the time, the guys are talking about English techs. Like, if you come from an English squad and you're an English player, you're going to pay at least 30 to 40 M's more than what that player's values at. And so, Manchester United wants Declan Rice. If they priced him correctly, I think we would have gone in and got him. I would even go as far as not taking Sancho and dealing another season with Lindelof and getting Declan Rice in the team. That's how serious this is. Greenwood is sufficient on the right wing. We've got Amad Diallo, which is a young up-and-coming lad. We've got Mata there. We've got Lingard staying. We've got Martial that can play the Rashford when he gets back. He can play left and right. I mean, Pogba's playing left wing now. You know what I mean? So we've got the options. Dan James can play right wing. So it was not as crucial as it was. We still had to have guys that can play that role. But that's why I say it is crucial for us to get the CDM within the next couple of hours of this transfer window. If we can get that, if we can, by the close of the transfer window tomorrow, get the CDM, any CDM, man, I'll even take Bazuma at Brighton. Then I'll say, and we're not looking at him. We're looking at Ruben Neves, and we're looking at Saul Niguez from. Yeah,
I think we were also in the race along with him, but
you guys are also in the race for him,
but not anymore. I understand it as a no.
Yes, and then we're also looking at this 19-year-old from Rennes, Camavinga.
Oh yes, so we were also in talks with
us. Yes, you guys are also in talks for Camavinga.
Neck and neck signing.
Neck and neck.
Yeah. But I don't think we're going to sign anyone else. I know we wanted Jules Koundé, who's a defender, because we have so much. There is so much midfielders there. I just think
you guys have a big squad.
Yeah. The only problem is we have one genuine holding midfielder. I don't like to think of Jorginho as a holding midfielder. I would like to say he's a controlling midfielder. He sits back, he controls the tempo, he controls everything, but he's not necessarily a holder. N'Golo Kante is a genuine holder, tackle, 100%. Track back, all those things.
100%.
I think our fifth or sixth choice midfielders are guys like Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Ross Barkley. I mean, sixth, fifth, and sixth, maybe even seventh choice, but none of them are holders. So I also think, I actually think, if you're a footballer now and you're a young kid and you're starting to get into academies, try and train yourself to be a better holding midfielder, because there's a genuine shortage of it. I mean, there's so many attacking mids. There's so many.
But you guys have Reece James as well, and he can play that role.
I know. I don't think he's good with both feet. As good as maybe as a Kante or a Jorginho is, he's got a fantastic right foot. I haven't seen him do anything, but I know when he wasn't on loan at can't remember, he wasn't West Brom, Wigan. I think he was at loan at Wigan, and he actually a few games he played as a as a holding midfielder, which was fantastic. But I think he
Yep.
can play that, but I just think he's so good on that right wing
Yep.
or on that defending wing side that I think you're going to waste his pace, his quality, his really physical bullying people in the midfield. But that is an option. But I think that's a general problem for a lot of teams now. There's not enough holding midfielders. So many attacking midfielders and so on. So yeah, if you're a young kid and you're watching this, try and convert yourself into a holding midfielder. Maybe Man United or Chelsea will buy you. And then, all right, I actually want to ask you one thing. What is your thoughts on the number for Ronaldo? Is Edison Cavani going to sacrifice his 7 for Ronaldo? Because remember, Cristiano Ronaldo has never played with a different number than number 7. You know that.
There's only one CR7. There is only one CR7. And Manchester United went. There's this meme going out that Manchester United went to go and replace CR7 with CR7. You know, because we've never, since he left, as I told you, we've never fixed that right wing, right side winger position. So With regards to the 7, I saw an article yesterday that said Cavani is willing to give it to one of the world's best, and that is Cristiano Ronaldo. So I think the main thing is trying to work out how they're going to fix the paperwork, because as you know, they've already submitted the numbers. And I saw in that article, they says they need to make some kind of petition or something of sorts to the board for them to change the number. So that's the interesting one to look for. I see they're going to announce CR7 within the next 48 hours. Fantastic. And so it's going to be very interesting to see with what number they release him, or
I can't imagine him with any other number. I really can't.
No, definitely
I can't.
So there's talks about a 07 and a 77.
Clever.
So yeah, because if you on the Premier League site, they've got Ronaldo's number is 7 and Cavani's number is 7.
Sure.
So yeah, it's an interesting one to look at.
Or he might
get his old number back, like what Messi did at PSG. He went to his starting number
30. It's 30, yeah.
And Cristiano played number 25, I think, which is available when he came from Sporting. So
a nice way to
played at Sporting. So yeah,
it would be a nice tribute to your older days and how everything went and how it started. It's a nice way to say 100%. This is where it came from. So I actually have a theory, and I told Louis, who's the other Man United representative, I told Louis that I want to discuss this theory, but now that you're here, I'm going to discuss it with you. So I have this theory, right, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer already knew that either Cristiano Ronaldo was going to come back to him, or you guys are going to get Erling Haaland next year. And the reason for my theory is why did Ole get a contract extension until 2026? Am I right? When was his contract extended? Yeah. Right. That's a very long.
Yeah.
2024.
An extra 3 years. Yeah.
Extra. So that's quite long for me. All right. So let's say 2024. That's quite long for me. So I had this thing. The only way you can be so confident in giving someone such a long extension, right, is that there has to be something that we don't know about, especially Ole, because he hasn't won anything yet for you, right? So there had to be something big in the pipeline. So I still think you guys are going to get Haaland next season, right? That's what I'm thinking. Because remember, Edison Cavani, his contract is going to be done next year. And Ronaldo's contract's only 2 years or 3 years. How long is it?
2 years. 2-year contract.
2 years. So I mean, next year if Erling Haaland comes along, the only competition there is Cristiano Ronaldo. And then Erling Haaland is young enough to understand, well, I'm playing under Cristiano Ronaldo. So that's my thinking. I don't know if you guys thought about it, but that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Why did Ole get his extension until 2024? Right? So look, does it make sense what I'm saying? Do you agree?
Not entirely. I'd say one thing. if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to get Haaland, he would have got him already. I mean, the guy was there. Oli coached him at Mulder. They've got a very good relationship. And when we could get him before him going to Dortmund, the fee wasn't also high as well. Okay. And then, so based on the contract, I think the board is just so happy with Ole. He's such a positive guy. You know, he knows the history of the club. He knows the heritage of the club. And so it just makes sense to keep him. He's a positive guy. He doesn't speak negatively. He's just a yes man, you know. And above all, I've got this notion on your notion that the board is happy to finish fourth. The body, as long as you are coach and you're finishing fourth, everyone is happy. And that's actually a negative thing as being a Man United supporter, because we want to win titles every year. We want to win every cup, every competition we're in. So I think for that reason, they gave him 3 years, and he might just continue doing what he's doing. You know? Yeah.
It was just something I thought about, because the contract extension came basically before anyone got signed, and I was like, something is brewing here that we don't know about.
Ollie's contract was ready before our final against Villarreal.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And so what happened was, when we lost against Villarreal, I'm telling you now, if we'd won the Europa Cup, the very next or 2 days after that, they would have announced Ollie's contract extension. But they couldn't do it because the fans were so angry and that we lost. So it was really bad it was going to be very bad for them to say, hey, we lost, but Ollie's is staying for 3 more years, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's important info, and I did not know that. That's why I like having other people on the show.
Man United supporters.
To help me on Man United fans. So I never knew that. Okay, but it makes sense now.
Yeah.
But I think you guys have a good relationship with Dortmund now. Obviously, after the Sancho signing, I don't know how you got them down to, I think, 80 odd million, down from 100 and something, which is a fantastic job on your guys' behalf. And then maybe the same happens with Erling Haaland now. I mean, he'll go down from 150 all of a sudden to maybe 100 or 110 or whatever.
Yep.
Maybe you guys are the right spot for him.
To sign Erling Haaland is still going to cost you about 150 M's. Although he's got the release contract. Yeah, even though he's got a release contract for, I think, about 65 million or so, there's still agent fees, there's still his contract. Mina Riola was talking about something like 4.5 million a month.
And he wants there's always fees that he wants a salary extra.
So
that guy. I think he makes the experience for clubs very unpleasant. Sometimes the way he manages this. So I think a very good example is the Pogba rumors from you guys that he wants to leave. So Pogba never said it himself. It's always his agent who comes out and say these things. So I think maybe we had the money to sign Erling Haaland, and maybe that guy just made the experience so miserable. We didn't sign him. Maybe that counts the same for Man City. On Man City, actually, we haven't touched a lot on them though. What do you think is going to happen to them this season, especially after their squad is so big, they don't really need to spend, but I know they were looking for junior number 9. Now they found someone who's just another superstar. Grealish is just another Man City player. What do you think is going to happen to them?
Yeah, I think Man City Pep Guardiola definitely wanted a 9. To be honest, I don't know. Look, Pep Guardiola is probably the best coach that I've ever seen in my lifetime. But I don't quite think his false 9 thing is working. And that's why he needs this right full-on striker, you know, probably to change the system a bit. I could not believe that Man City never went in for Messi. I could not believe that they never went in for Lukaku. So it's a very tricky one. They might go in guns blazing for Erling Haaland in the next 48 hours. And we don't know. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they actually do. Because, I mean, Pep Guardiola's got the open checkbook.
after the Lukaku rumors came out, I always just thought he was going to come back to Chelsea, especially because the talks come out with stuff like Didier Drogba is speaking to him, and he's obviously a club.
Yeah.
And you know that Bruno was still talking to Cristiano Ronaldo, and Oli said they have a good relationship. So those things do help.
Does count.
They really do help the cause. So the moment, and I know people were panicking about Ronaldo going to City, but I just knew it won't happen. I don't know why.
Upset. Wednesday and Thursday last week, Rowan, I was upset. I was to the point of even crying. Thursday evening, I was like, oh my word, the club legend, Cristiano Ronaldo, in a blue Manchester United.
I couldn't see that happening.
Oh my word. I was, Fabrizio Romano's like, deals incoming, like personal terms, someone saying personal terms are agreed. Oh, I was besides myself. So just a quick one. Friday morning after the press release, I look at Ole's, his gestures in the press conference. Ole's like, he's got this naughty smile. And then I thought, no man, something is going on. Next minute we find out, no, Manchester United's joined the race. Because Manchester United wasn't interested. Nobody said anything up until Thursday evening. So they inquired. And when Manchester United came in, that was tickets. Man City pulled out within an hour and a half. The deal was complete.
Yeah.
Which also leads to a lot of United fans' frustration that, our deals take almost 2 weeks to be finalized,
Yeah.
And here we go and sign one of probably the most difficult deals. Fabrizio Romano normally says those deals take about up to 2 weeks, and here we sign Cristiano Ronaldo within an hour and a half.
I know, it's mental. It's crazy, but I'll be honest with you, I couldn't see this happening for Man City at all. Maybe it would have come down to Cristiano saying, well, listen, I don't want to come here, even if United did not make a counter bid.
Yeah.
But it has to, and here's why I say this. Remember, the difference in the fee is only about 5 million, right? Do you want to tell me that Manchester City cannot top that 5 million with another 10 million?
So what actually happens is, I had an interview of Fabrizio as well. He actually mentioned that Man City didn't want to pay Juventus a transfer fee. They wanted him for free because of his wages. Okay? And 25 million, 20 million. And then they weren't taking it unless Ronaldo came to them on a free. So I think that was the one thing. And the other thing is Cristiano Ronaldo wanted to leave Thursday morning. If you would remember, he was at practice, went to and greet the guys 40 minutes, and he left.
Yeah, I think
show how serious he was about leaving.
I think it was Allegri that made the statement. If I remember.
Yes.
He made the statement that said Cristiano said he wants to leave. But that's my thing. I think it was too half-hearted from Man City side if they were really interested in this Galactico, this superstar. I mean, you already see what records were broken with Instagram posts and likes and stuff. That guy has so much influence. We can never understand. So I think that's why I never felt like Man City would have gotten him. Because to get this aura and this guy, it was too easy and too half-hearted and too little money for City. So,
I think it would have been a great move for him, for the club, not for Ronaldo, for the club, because Ronaldo comes with millions of fans.
Branding and everything,
just last week you saw they were struggling to sell out their stadium. Their first home match was empty, so he would have brought fans. Second to that, they need a number 9. Cristiano could have played that role for at least the next 2 years. You know what I mean? So for them being, iffy about the fee for 25 million, I don't know why they didn't do it. So, but thank God they never did it. Man, I would have been besides myself.
I can imagine.
Honestly.
Okay, so on that note, who do you think of the English sides, who has won the transfer window so far? It's fair to say you guys? I can think that you guys have won it so far. I know you didn't get your CD there, but I mean, come on, Jadon Sancho.
for that one reason, Ruan. For that one reason, I'll say 8 out of 10 for us.
How is it?
Honestly.
Do you think
Honestly.
that someone else in the Premier League did a better transfer window than you guys? I don't think so.
Probably not. Probably not.
I think so. Yeah. So
Probably
I think it's
not.
fair to say
Yeah.
you've won this
Fair
transfer
to
window
say
so far.
we've won it. But as a fan, as a Man United fan, still not 10 out of 10 for me. Get us at CDM within the next 48 hours and I'll take that. That prize was 2 hands.
All right. Then, Ola, can I get a quick top 4 prediction from your side? 1 to number 4. Who's going to win? Who's going to end up second, third, and fourth?
If we get a CDM, definitely our chances are big.
Okay.
Definitely. But okay, top 4, I think at this moment, number 1, Man City. Number 2, Chelsea. Number 3, Man United. And 4 is a bit a difficult one between Tottenham, Leicester, and even West Ham. West Ham is looking. Oh well, there's Liverpool. Okay, let's put Liverpool. You know, I forget there's a team like Liverpool. You know, so let's put Liverpool there at 4.
Let's put that 4. So me and you are actually 75% the same. I only had City at second, and I had us at first. And I don't think we necessarily have the best starting 11, but I think we have a good squad.
Yeah.
And I think the difference is Thomas Tuchel. I think he's a very, very good coach.
Brilliant.
He's
But
in shape now, so yeah, I'm very hopeful.
you see, the reason I feel it's gonna be a very interesting season this season. And Pep Guardiola just gets something right with his team. I mean, look at last year. They had quite a bad start to the season. You know, they were all over the place, and next thing you know, they 15 points ahead. You know, so I think it's going to be very interesting. If anything, I think between Chelsea, especially like you said, because of Tuchel as a coach. I mean, he just came to come and change that team. Since he came in, yeah.
Yeah, he did a very good job.
Yeah.
All right, well, we head into international break. Boring weekend ahead of us. Do you have an international team that you do you have an international team except for South Africa? Because we're probably, well, I don't mean to be negatives, people watching. I just mean realistically. Yeah. I don't know how South Africa is going to go. So, do you have a team that you support? England.
Yeah, I do. I actually love the Belge. I really love the Belge. I love the coach.
One thing we agree on. Well done. Me too.
Yeah. So
me too. Yeah.
I'm really hoping for them to win something big. It's long time coming. They've put in quite a lot of work over the years.
It is. I want to say it's De Bruyne is in his prime. Lukaku is in his prime. It's a pity about what's his name, Hazard.
Hazard's also looking quite good at the moment. Yeah.
He's looking better.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then also I think Germany. Hansi Flick is in charge of Germany now. So I think Germany. Yeah. He's a good coach, that dude. So I think they.
Yeah, look, you can never write Germany off. You can never write Italy off. I mean, you just saw what they did. And then England. I think England has probably one of the best teams, but I don't think their coach is up to it. Southgate, no, I don't think he's good enough. I think he could make much better decisions with that squad. I mean, there's a few great players in that squad.
Dude, there's a lot of rumors about Frank Lampard going to take over.
Oh no, I don't know if that happens.
Yeah, I don't think it will happen. No. I think the reason the rumors came up was because of the young kids. Because he did well with Chelsea's young stars, Reece James, Tammy Abraham, Mason Mounts, etc. So I think that's maybe the reason. But I don't think it's going to happen. But I don't think Southgate's the best choice for someone to win the World Cup. But that squad, that's a fantastic squad.
Fantastic squad.
I mean, you have to fight to see who's your right back. It's mental.
What do you think about this whole COVID thing and the quarantine with regards to the international break? Because with all the games,
the thing is,
they're talking about almost 10 games that players could be losing.
Yeah, that's how it works. I know. Remember, England is a Western country, so everybody could afford to get vaccinated or the double shots and the booster shots. And then we have to remember a lot of these football stars come from third world countries or countries that are not as prone to getting vaccinations, whether it's their choice or whether they can afford it or whether the government believes they need to get it. That's the reality. I mean, if you go back to Brazil, that's a red flag area. There is problems. They are overpopulated. That's how it works. And unfortunately, look, it's sad. A lot of people are missing out. I know Mo Salah, for instance, can't go back. But what can you do about that? Let's say you say they have to go and do it, and they get infected or they end up in the hospital or something worse happens. Then you're like, well, why didn't nobody cater for this or tell us this is going to happen? So it's a tough thing that, and I feel sorry because the first world countries are going to be the countries that's going to come out okay from this. They're going to be able to get all the players. They're going to be played to play the games. Because you remember the rules is not the same in every country for self-isolating or quarantining. Some say 7 days, some say 10 days, some say 2 weeks. So it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
There's no general rule with this. So I feel sorry.
As a United fan, I hope all our players stay.
No, well, obviously I hope the same.
I cannot afford someone staying 2 weeks out. We were so worried because they said Eddie Cavani was going to play for Uruguay. And so there's a statement that came out just today that he's going to stay. So
I saw that, about that. But that makes sense to me. So that really does make sense. 100%. I mean, going to Brazil or Uruguay, that's the other side from England. So I remember last season Thiago Silva had to miss one game to rest because they've got such long flights and it's stayovers and it's quarantines and check this and check that. It's very bad. It feels like the more wealthy your club is with international players, the bigger burden it's going to be on you. if your players go away. But I always hate the international break. For me, it's the stupidest thing going away to play one game, maybe 2 games. Forget everything you learned with your club. Go to another club, completely different strategy, players, and then come back. To me, it's always been like you can rather end the Premier League a month or 2 months earlier to deal with this stuff. Just make the timeline for the French League, for the Italian Serie A League, for La Liga, make it at one dedicated 8-month period and give 2 months for internationals. And I'm sure everyone will be happy with that.
Finish.
This has always been frustrating for me. No football for no.
I agree.
Weekend, that's going to suck.
Oh, it's 2 weeks, we only back the 11th of September.
Let me check. Yeah, that means it's going to be 2 weeks.
It's Sunday. 2 weeks,
Dude, oh man, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's a long time, man. So first one is 11th of September. You're right. So that's it. We'll have to do an episode where we talk about the Champions League group so far. But for now, this is all the time that we have. I actually want to talk about that. This is all the time we had. Oral, for your first time on this was flipping amazing, man. Thank you for joining and sharing your knowledge and your passion for where your club is at the moment and your excitement. I really, really appreciate you tuning in and helping us.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks so much for having me. And all the fans, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you guys for tuning in. If you like this, if you agree with us, if you disagree with us, comment down below. Don't be mean about it. And always remember to chip the keeper.